Hello there. I just wanted to make a short video introducing the changes to the new web page. Um, because we had this hangout and got some really great feedback, so I've been hard at work this weekend getting some stuff together. So first of all, I have changed these buttons up here so that you choose between if you want to get like an introduction or if you just want to get started. So in the introduction, I will show you very soon. Um, you will get a step-by-step introduction to Cerebral and the concepts. But on Get Started, it's more like, okay, you install the CLI, you fire up the application, and then you're off. And you can use the other documentation to figure out how things work. Um, because people are different that way. Some ones are really um, close follow-up on the concepts, and others just want to get it running as fast as possible and start building stuff. So if I click introduction, should should get you here. The way I've thought about this now is that there are actually 3 tutorials, 3 different projects: the introduction project, the next step project, and the advanced project, where the introduction project is just an input and a list. Okay, and it just uses the basic project type from the Cerebral CLI, which is just a Webpack dev server. On the next step, you will get actually a Node Express server, so the more advanced version of the Get Going project with the CLI, which actually introduces saving data to the server, which also includes then the HTTP package and that stuff. And then on advanced, which is not ready yet, well, none of this is really ready, but on advanced, you will be introduced to the router specifically, and also more things like dividing the applications into more components and all these kinds of concepts. Okay, so on the introduction here, the way it works is that we ask the developer to clone out a version of the tutorial which fits their view preference. So React, Snapdom, Inferno, Angular, or Angular 2. And that gives them a runnable project, which they can just fire up and take a look at the code. And we, of course, have to comment the code and everything. And they can install the debugger and see what's going on. But this part is kind of interesting. So the master branch of this project contains the model and the controller and like the business logic, the app itself. And this code here is actually grabbed from GitHub. So this points to, I can click this link here. This points to the master branch and this model file. So if we change this in the master branch, it will update here on the website as well. And that is really nice. So whenever we make changes to these tutorials, it will automatically just work on the website. The only thing here is if we make changes to the master, we have to merge that into the other branches. So that's like the gotcha. But for the website, that doesn't matter. But for actually running the project, it does matter. So we have to do that. And this is really hard to do, find a good way to do all this stuff, but I think this is manageable. So whenever we want to make a change to the master, we have to merge that into the different React, Snapdom, etc. branches. But when we make a change to React specifically, we don't have to make changes to the other branches, of course. Okay, so here we introduce some state stuff. And the signals, again, we just grab it from GitHub. And this has also led me to structure things a little bit differently, which is a good thing, because one of the things we want to teach here is how you separate your view from the rest of the application. And that should also be reflected in the files. I'm not going to talk more about that, but yeah, and here we have the signal. Then you learn a little bit about components. So here you can see this is a React component, and if you click here, we have the Snapdom version of it. And of course, we will have Angular and the other ones there as well. I was thinking about adding like some property here. So if you choose Snubdom, all these code tabs will actually just point to Snubdom, as that is what you're most likely interested in. And yes, and when you move to the next application, it's a completely new project, but it works the same way. You fire it up, and we start explaining other concepts. But again, it just grabs the code from GitHub. Okay, so I think this is a really good way to do it. Just to summarize that, like we have 3 tutorials taking you into first just basic stuff, the introduction. Then you get into adding a separate module, talking to the server. And then in advanced, you handle routing. And maybe we even could have like server-side rendering or something. And then you will have like get started, which is getting more into, okay, the Cerebral CLI and actually just get the project up and running on your own. Okay, thanks for listening. Talk to you later.